Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We are in the section 5 or in second chapter of the second Valli of the Kathopanishad, and here we are talking about the truth, and that truth also in the first verse as the soul. And it says, just recapping because we are done up till verse 3, so we'll just recap that and then we'll go back to wherever we stopped today. We'll start from there. So here it says, the first verse says, Puramekadash dwaram ajasya vakrachetasah anusthaya na shochati vimuktascha vimuchyate etadvaitata. Etadvaitata. This is that. What is this is that? You meditate on this. What do you meditate on? Then the contemplation is given that this body, these are the thoughts. You take this thought and you sit down and automatically you come to the self. Then what is the thought? That the body, Puram Ekadashadwaram, this body is having 11 gates, 7 in the head, 3 in the trunk, and 1 on the top of the head, the fontanel. The 7 are the 2 eyes, the 2 nostrils, the 2 ears, and 1 mouth. The 3 down below are the genitals, the anus, and the navel. And this, so that 7 plus 3 is 10, and 1 on the top, on the fontanel, the soft skin, the bone is not formed. So altogether 11. So this body of 11 gates is where are we? So he says, Puram Ekadashadwaram Ajasya Vakrachetasa. So for who is this body? Is this body for the senses? Is this body for the genitals or the anus? Is this body for the mind? Is this body for then for whom is this body? Then it is told, Ajasya Vakrachetasaha. This entire body is for the unborn one. And that one, who is that? The one, who is this unborn one? This unborn one is the one who is never attached to this body. He is ever equanimous towards this body. He is ever the witnessing consciousness in whose presence the body gets activated, etc. All the 11 gates get activated, and many other. The gross, subtle, and causal also get activated. And then Anusthaya cha na shochati vimuktascha vimuchyate. And thus Anusthaya na shochati. Anushtaya means once you have meditate, anushthan, we say na anushthan, take a anushthan. We take anushthan of what? I'm going to chant 1 crore of Ram Naam before Ram Mandir is inaugurated. So that is anushthan, a vow. And what is this vow? Here we are taking a vow to contemplate upon this unborn witnessing consciousness in whose presence this body of 11 gates gets activated. And how do we contemplate on it? As the self that I am. In my presence, all these 11 gates get activated. In my presence, the mind gets activated, etc., etc. So when a anushtaya na shochati, and when he contemplates in this manner, na shochati, he does not become miserable, he does not grieve with reference to the body. Then what? Vimuktascha vimuchyate, and thus when he remains equanimous, naturally you cannot grieve and be equanimous. Equanimous means where your presence is undisturbed by the coming and goings or all the modifications of these 11 gates, of the body, of the mind, of the intellect. Nothing is disturbing you. Then as a result, what happens? You become free of this body when you contemplate in this manner. Right now, are we contemplating? Are you always contemplating like this? No. Then right now you are identified with the body. So you contemplate that I am the one who is unidentified with the body. I am the one in whose presence the body is functioning, going through the modifications. I am the independent one. I am the unborn one. I am the one because of whom the body is there, not because of the body I am there. We live according to the second statement. Because of the body I am there. Because of the mind I am there. Because of the family I am there. Because of the hunger I am there. Inverted thinking. We have to get out of that. And this is one way of coming out of it, by contemplating in this manner. And vimuktascha vimuchyate, and the one who is liberated is ever liberated. This is that truth that you asked, O Nachiketa. The Lord of Death is continuing, and when, as a seeker, when we contemplate on this truth, on this truth that we are, this conscious being that we are, this conscious principle that we are, then slowly all the restlessness from the mind, because body, breath, mind, intellect, the 11 gates, the 5 senses, the 5 organs of action, all of them are nothing but the thoughts in the mind. So also the whole world. So here in this first verse, the Lord of Death is bringing our attention to the immediate, to the micro. This body is the micro. Aham Brahmasmi. Leave it aside first. First work on yourself. First work out whether you are the body or you are the consciousness. Straight away don't jump for the PhD, so to speak. This is not PhD. First work where we are. We need to have a wholesome vision. We need to have a vision which covers every aspect of the creation, micro as well as macro, and beyond. Another way of putting the vision, we have to have the wholesome vision of the gross, subtle, causal, and transcendental. Merely thinking about gross is not enough. Merely thinking about the subtle is not enough. And only about the causal, of course, it is not enough. So here, the teacher is bringing our attention to the gross, bringing our attention to the microcosm. This is the immediate challenge. We give too much thought, we give too much credence to the modifications that happen in this body. Modifications that happen or come are being received or being perceived by the 11 gates. As long as we are thinking of this, till then we are identified. When our attention comes to the conscious principle, because of whom these 11 or this body gets activated, then there is a possibility of freedom. And it's not a freedom that you will be remaining behind to say, I have become free. Then eighth, who is saying this? Lord of Death. Who is saying this? The realized masters are saying it. But they are also saying, and I am also saying that I am free. They are saying it out of abidance in the self. We are saying it out of intellectual conviction. Understanding, I shouldn't even say conviction, because if it was conviction, we would have gone leaps and bounds. There will be intense vairagya then. Right now, vairagya is not there. Work on it. And we don't have, when we contemplate on this, come to the equanimity, automatically vairagya comes. The disinterest in the world comes. Now, he shifts his attention, the teacher shifts his attention from the micro to the macro. What about, you said that I am the self in this body, but this you only told before that this self is expressing through all the bodies. It is expressing through 8 billion human beings. It is expressing through n number of animals, insects, reptiles, birds, fishes, etc. All living things. It's expressing through plant kingdom, God kingdom. What about that? How do you explain this? If I come to know the consciousness that I am, but the self is still, how do I sort that out? To sort that out, the second verse is told. Hansa Shuchishad Vasurantariksasad Hota Vedishad Atithir Duronasad Nrushad Varasad Rutasad Vyomasad Abja Goja Rutaja Adrija Rutam Bruhata. Here examples are taken, similes taken, just as here it says, just as Hamsa, the sun, he moves in the heaven, he lives in the heaven. Then Shuchishad is the air lives in the sky. Then Vasurantarikshasad, Shuchishad, Vasurantarikshasad, and Shuchishad, Vasurantarikshasad, Hota Vedishad, and Hota, another name for Hota is the fire, just as fire and Hota are one, or we can say Vedi is also as the earth is the Vedi. Vedi is the pot, the Havan Kund, that is the Vedi. And in the Vedi is the fire. In the womb of the earth is the fire. Just as the fire remains in the womb of the earth, similarly, another set of examples is taken. this was from the five element point of view, and now it is taken that atithir durona sat, just as the guest lives in a house, guest should not be overlooked, the guest should not be taken for granted. Guest, we must be very alert to keep the guest happy and take care of his needs. That is what a guest is. Then atithir duronasat. Now second set, nrushad, varasad, rutasad, vyomasad. Nrushad, Nru is man. So this Atma, he dwells through the Nru, the man. Then Varasad, in the gods. And Rutasad, Rutasad is the sacrifice. Vyomasad, and it's dwelling in the space, in the antariksha. And it is in the sky, it's pervading the sky. And then it's also telling, so first it talked about the five elements, then it talked about the man, God, and the sacrifice. And now it says Abja, Goja, Rutaja, Adrija, Rutam, Bruhata. Abja is, it is the same one who is born out of water. What is born out of water? Conch, shells, crustaceans, plankton, fishes, etc. Everything that is born, lives in water, is born out of water. So all that is nothing but that Atman. Then Abja, Goja. Goja means that which is born out of the what is it? Born of the earth. That which is born from the earth. What is born from the earth? The maggots are born out of the earth. The insects are born. Plants are born. Then Rutaja, he is the one who is born out of the sacrifice also. And lastly, Adrija, that which is born from the just as the water is born from the mountain, the rivers are born from the mountains. Similarly, so that one who is everything, he is the life everywhere. Whether you see it in all these 3-4 verses, the different types of manifestation of this reality is being brought out. And he says, this is that Adrija Rutam Bruhata. Bruhat means the greater than the greatest. He is that greater than the greatest truth. Rutam, truth. And in this way, urdham pranam unnayati, apanam pratyagasyati, madhye vamanam asinam, vishwe deva upasate. He is that which, see, urdham pranam unnayati. Unnayati, he is the one who sends or pushes the pranas upwards. Apanam pratyagasyati, he is the one who pushes the pranas downwards. This is one of the exercises given in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. When you do the bandhas, the heart is your center. From here, the pranas go up and the apan goes down. So once the pranas have gone up, has been pushed up, and the apan has been pushed down, what is between the two? What is between the two? Find out. Find out when you get there. These things come when you have done practice. Otherwise, you'll never understand what is being told here. So, what remains between the two is empty space. There is vacuum, or there is emptiness, or there is empty space. And in that empty space, we say it is empty space because we don't know. We always talk about it in reference. Between the two, He is the one who's pushing the pranas up. He is the one who's pushing the apana down. And He can be found between the two. Sandhi. This is another sandhi. And in this manner, and He is the one, here it says what? Madhyavama Vishwe Deva Upasate. All the gods remember Him. We have done the Kathopanishad. I think after Kaivalya Upanishad we did the Keno. After Kena we did the Isha. After Isha we are doing Kathopanishad. In Kathopanishad, all the gods wanted to know the Yaksha Purusha, and they couldn't. They tried to flex their muscles, and they couldn't burn the blade, destroy the blade of grass. And so their arrogance was brought down. And here also the verse says that all the gods worship Him, and that great one, Rutam Bruhata, that great one is the center of everything. Without it, what is that? What is that because of the which the life in this body is expressing? Is the body, is the life because of the pranas? Is the life because you have senses? Is the life because you have the mind and intellect? Or is life independent of all these faculties? What is that which is missing in a dead body and is available in this living body? Is it prana? Is it just the breath? Or is it something greater? So not only when we say the gods are subservient, or gods, what do you say here? Worship Him, meaning that great one is the one because of whom it is because of Him the power of vision comes to the eyes. It is because of Him the power of or He alone manifests as the hearing ability in the ears, that is the space element. He alone manifests as the feeling ability, that is the touch element, the air. He alone manifests as the vision behind the eyes. He alone manifests as the taste behind the tongue. He alone gives the ability to smell behind the ear, to the ears. So without Him, the nose cannot do its function. Without Him, none of the faculties can do their function. This is only at the sensory level. Without Him, the mind cannot think also. Without Him, the pranas cannot go in and out. Without Him, the intellect cannot think, contemplate. That I am. The teacher, the Lord Death, is telling that you are etadvaitata. This is that reality. Grab it. Be it. Grabbing means contemplate on it. It will lead to being. In this manner, don't have the arrogance that I have made my life, I have lived my life according to my rules. As we are all getting old, as this body is getting old, as much as you may try, you cannot make it healthy. It has its own journey. If you use willpower, you can. You can do pranayam, there is kaya kalpa and all that. We are not into that. Then why are we here listening to the Upanishad? Are we listening to the Upanishad and going to do kaya kalpa? No. Listening to the Upanishad, our goal is only one, to recognize while listening, while doing the Shravana, that we are that infinite one, which is one without a second. So all the devas are worshipping, are looking up to the one without whom they have no existence. And we have studied enough to know all the devas, whatever is in the macrocosm is in the micro, and what is in the micro is in the macro. The sun god is our right eye, the moon god is our left eye, Vishnu is our feet, Indra is our arms, and so on and so forth. All of them are because of whom? Because of that one power, because of that one great one, which is the atman. Rutam bruhata. Now we come to the, so I think we have done the bhashya till the third verse. Now we begin with the fourth. Here it says in the fourth verse, asya visramsamanasya sharirasthasya videhinah sharirasthasya dehinah देहाद्विमुच्यमानस्य किमत्र परिशिष्यते एतद्वैतत together अस्य विस्त्रंसमानस्य शरीरस्थस्य देहिनः देहाद्विमुच्यमानस्य किमत्र परिशिष्यते एतद्वैतत. Here it says when this asya visramsamanasya, when this atma, this great one, when he see, atma cannot come and go. Atma is ever the same. Now it's how you look at the whole sentence. Here it says that when the atma dwells or lives in the body, it is called as what? When it is identified with it, what is it called? Jivatma, isn't it? Jivatma, atma identified with the body is Jivatma. So you and me are Jivatma. And we are studying the Upanishad for what? To realize that the Atma can never identify with the body. Jivatma is a ghost existing in its own absence, only a phenomena. And all that there is the Atman, the pure consciousness, the all-pervading consciousness, and that is my true nature. That is my truth. So when we think like the first verse and the second verse and the third verse, what is the conclusion? My attention comes and stays with this conscious principle. And as long as it's staying with the conscious principle, to that extent, as I'm contemplating, to that extent, the identification with the body is dissolving. If I remain equanimous, as in the first verse, in the second verse, see that everything in this creation, He alone is the instigator, He alone is expressing in and through everything. And the third verse talked about, some people think pranas are the ones which keep the body alive. Here it is told, no, He is the one who makes the pranas go up, and He is the one who makes the apana go down. And what remains in between is Him, not empty space. When we contemplate in this manner, then this Atman who was as if living in this body, is as if separated from the body. Then after he leaves the body, what remains in the body? And what is this leaving the body? Leaving the body is disidentification with the body. How can you? We know only about disidentification from the body of the Atma when someone dies. What do you mean by disidentification with the body while living? Look at the Mahatmas, great masters, Ramana Maharishi, Sai Baba, and so on, Ramakrishna Paramhams, Akhandanand Maharaj, Mahavatar Baba, Dargah Swami, list goes on. Who are these people? They are free while living in the body, while the body is still there. So they were born like you and me. They contemplated on these verses and they became free from the identification with the body. What did they do? They contemplated, became equanimous. In that equanimity, all the bondages were dissolved. When there was nothing left to dissolve, you are free. Because you were free. You are by nature free. Only imagining that you are bound by the body and the senses. Where is this bondage? In the mind. And how do you come out of that bondage? By remaining equanimous, by contemplating on such verses. So here he says that once he becomes free from the body, then what remains? Then the teacher, here it says, Dehad vimuchya manasya, after the body has been dropped, then kimatra parishishyate, what is left behind? The answer is etad vaitata, whatever is that which is left behind. Don't say there is nothing, don't say there is absence, don't come to the conclusion there is nothing left behind. No, you are that. This is that reality. Whatever is left behind is that reality. Meaning, when the body is dropped, when the body, the name and form, when all the activity, the senses and the mind and the thoughts and the aham and idam, all this is dissolved, what remains? You remain. The truth remains. Etad vaitata. This is that truth we are talking about. That you are. He says, Asya sharirastha asya atmanah visramsamanasya avasramsamanasya भ्रंशमानस्य देहिनो देहवतः. So he's saying, the Bhashya is saying that this, the one who is identified with the body, the Dehi, Deha and Dehi. Dehi is the one who is owning the body. And when here we are talking about, if you want to use the word, the we talk, now we have to be very careful. Are we talking about the soul, that when the life leaves the body, the soul goes from one place to another, one body to another? Or when you contemplate the way it was given in the previous 3 verses and the verses before, and you drop the body gets dropped, the body dissolves, the idea of body dissolves from the mind. You transcend the gross subtle causal body. Is that death? Is that death? From our point of view, from the worldly point of view, that person died of cancer. Why? Our attention is on the body. Now the body is not able to function. The soul has left. Is it that in Mahatmas the soul leaves? Or is it that the Mahatma has gone beyond becoming the soul? Soul is still, just like body was, consciousness was identified with body, it was called Jivatma. When consciousness leaves the body, and when it leaves the body, it goes with the vasanas. It is called soul, S-O-U-L. And we see in Sankhya Darshan that this soul goes from one body to the other. So are we talking about that? Here through this Bhashya, we are coming to the conclusion that there is no movement of the consciousness from one body to another. If you have realized yourself, if you correctly understand the consciousness that you are, if you correctly contemplate the way the Upanishad is saying, you can escape the rebirth. And that is realization. If you remain in rebirth, then again go through the womb, again A, B, C, D, again 2 and the 2, 2 to the 4. God knows which yoni you are born. The purpose we are studying Upanishad is not for rebirth. Purpose of studying the Upanishad is transcending rebirth. No more rebirth for this person who has come to what is being propounded by the Upanishad, the truth. and recognizing that I am that, Aham Brahmasmi. So here he says that this so when this consciousness, this Atma, as if leaves the body, and what is that body? A body was a conglomeration of the five senses, mind, intellect, the pranas, the organs of action, etc. etc. विसंसन शब्दार्थम आह देहाद विमुच्यमानस्येति किमत्र परिशिष्यते. So the answer is this that nothing remains behind. देहाद विमुच्यमानस्येति किमत्र परिशिष्यते. So here, by saying this dehad vimuchyamanasya, the meaning of the word visramsan has been told, just as the example is taken. Pranadi kalape na kinchana शिष्यते अत्र देहे पुरस्वाम इव पुरस्वामिविद्रवण इव पुरवासिनां यस्यात्मन उपगमे क्षणमात्रात् कार्यकरणकलापरूपं सर्वमिदं हतबलं विध्वंस्तं भवति विनष्टं भवति सोऽन्यसिद्धः. Your example that is taken, just as in a town or in a city, when the Swami of the city, meaning the king of the city, when he decides to when he decides to go and settle and or make a new city as his own capital, then what happens? All the people in the city, the carpenters, the jewelers, the businessmen, the soldiers, the generals, everyone follows the king to the new city. This example is talking about rebirth. Okay? If we want to take it that way. So, wherever the king goes, all the subjects of his, they go, because their subsistence, their livelihood is dependent on the presence of the king. He will give them the maximum business. If he is not there, they will have nothing to do. So here, in the absence of the king, what is the condition of all the people in the city? They have no purpose. If there is no king, there will be arajakta. People will fight, there will be no law and order, there will be chaos if the king is not there. Similarly, in this body, iva purasinam yasya atmanaha upagame. Iva means similarly, when the Atma leaves the body, when the Atma decides to go away from this body, within a moment, kshanamatra karya karana kala rupam, in a moment, in a minuscule of a moment, all the power of the senses, all the power of the pranas, all the power of the mind, all the convictions of the intellect, all the memories, all the ahankar, everything becomes zero. This is your story that Upanishad is telling. And we have so much arrogance that I will take care. I, I have to take care of the body. I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of my grandchildren. I have to take care of the society. I have to take care of the country. We are Desh Bhakta. All that is good, no doubt. But here, we are not come to the Upanishads to be a Desh Bhakta. Desh Bhakta means body Bhakta. Desha is the body, maybe a bigger body. So we come to the Upanishads to be free, not to be bound. So the entire gamut of faculties, they become they have got no power, they have got no energy, they lose their functionality. Right now the tongue says, I want samosa, I want gulab jamun, I want pizza, I want this. The eyes say, I want to look at beautiful things. They pull you here, they pull you there, they pull you to the sales, they pull you all around the world to see new places. The intellect takes you to different scriptures where all this pull of the senses and the faculties, where does it go when the Atma decides to leave the body? In an instant, they become powerless. Balahinena, hatabalam, vidvanstam, and get destroyed. And that which is destroyed was necessary. It is our experience that whatever is destroyed has come into existence one day. But this Atma, it has never been born, it can never die. Even as a soul, if you want to take that principle, even as soul, it is continuous, it goes from one body to the other. So where is the question of death? So decide wisely. Who are you? Are you the body? Are you the senses? Are you the mind? Are you your convictions? Oh, are we not becoming, are we not programming ourselves that we are the self, that we are the infinite one? Just because scriptures say so, therefore are we not reading another text, another philosophy? No, self is not a philosophy. Self is not a concept. Nobody needs any conviction from anyone as regards they are alive or dead. Nobody needs a conviction from anyone to know whether they are a man or woman. They just know it. Similarly, nobody needs a conviction whether they are alive or are they dead. You know you are alive. You know you are the life. But somewhere something has gone wrong and you have started thinking that I am life as the body. And you have started thinking, and because of that thinking, an inverted understanding has come about that because of the body life is, and therefore fear of death, fear that I cannot live without this body. This can be corrected. And the correction is refocus on the self. Remember the New Year message that I gave. Vikaratmika buddhi and vicharatmika buddhi. Just 2 points you have to remember any time in your day. Are you thinking about the world, or are you contemplating on the self? If you contemplate on the world, more thoughts. If you contemplate on the self, from many thoughts to zero thoughts. Where the thoughts become zero, there you are. See, it's and same point. This various Upanishads are bringing it to us by different ways, means, examples, stories. And we are so obstinate. Nahi, this is not enough. We want more. Maybe the next one, this was okay, it was good, but I think one more and then I will realize. Why extend your misery? So with that, the fourth verse is over, and the fifth verse says, "Na pranena na panena, na pranena apanena, martyo jivati kaschana, martyo jivati kaschana, itarena tu jivanti, itarena tu jivanti, yasminnetavupashritau, yasminnetavupashritau." Together. "Na pranena na panena, martyo jivati kaschana, itarena tu jivanti, yasminnetavupashritau." Here it says in the fifth verse. We'll look at it next week, we'll not go into it. No, na pranena na apanena, martyo jivati kaschana. No person is alive because of the pranas or the apanas. Pran is the wire, is the air, the total air. When it enters into your system, into your body, from 12 fingers apart, it is called prana. Then that prana goes inside, that air goes inside, it becomes pranapan vyaan udan saman. Each that bifurcation, that white light becomes the rainbow colors. But it is the same light. Same way it is one air which becomes 5 functional airs. We are not alive because of these airs. Then, itarena tu jivanti yasmin neta upashito. So these two, pranas and prana and apana, these two, it is seen that they are alive because of some other greater power. And what is that? We will look at the bhashya in our in our next class. 1 hour is enough. So 5th verse will start next week. Okay. So contemplate on this, realign yourself. If we have gone wrong in our conclusions about life, if we have gone wrong about, sometimes the life overwhelms us and pulls us into the world, into the relationships, into the past, into the future, into the void. This is the time in a satsang where we again realign ourselves with what is real. And by doing that, we are only helping ourselves, we are only invoking the auspiciousness that we are by nature. It is not going to come from outside, it is not going to come from any temple, It is not going to come from any Mahatma who will touch your head. It will not come by any miracle. You are your own miracle, provided we think in this manner about ourselves. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.